We are at a 10, just feeling really high, okay? And my next guest, guys, really, really cool to have the next guest on. My next guest was nominated by a listener. It's really a pleasure to introduce this next guest, guys. He is a holistic health coach, a personal trainer. He does Tai Chi, yoga, mindfulness. He's a health and fitness practitioner. He's also informed in the area of nutrition. Okay, so as I said, he was nominated as part of our Black Men Talk, celebrating black men who are out there doing good in the community. So it's a warm welcome, BMT style, Supreme FM, UK Black Men Talk show. A gentleman called Joe. Welcome, Joe, to UK Black Men Talk. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Anne.
Welcome,
Thank
Joe.
you for that very lovely intro. Good morning, everyone. Yes, my name is Joe McBoy, and it's a pleasure to be talking with you. My first time going live, so might be a little nervous, just letting you know that from the start. Always having a chat.
I'm glad you said that to them, because what I was going to do, I was going to interview them. At the end of it, I was going to tell everyone that it is your first time on radio. So guys, do give it up for Joe. It's his first time on the radio, okay? And we are really pleased, Joe, that you're joining us today. Now, we have a tradition on UK Black Men Talk, and we check in. So we ask for a number from 1 to 10 on how you're feeling right now, and a word to go with that, or even a sentence or two. So how are you feeling, Joe? 1 to 10, checking in, UK Black Men Talk on Supreme FM. What's your score, Joe?
All right. On 1 to 10, I would say a 10 because I'm feeling really high. Just an honor to be here. So I'm just going all out. I'm 10 and I'm feeling a natural high just to be on the show.
Okay, so those are your words then, the natural high. We're talking to Joe, a holistic health coach. Now, Joe, we want to know, certainly, what made you go into this profession of health and fitness? Yeah, we'll start with that. That's a good place to start.
Okay. Right. So to answer your question, I'd love to take you guys on a little journey back to my childhood years. Right. So basically, I was born in London. My parents were from the Caribbean and South America. So basically, my mom couldn't cope with the cold weather. She was getting chilblains and arthritis in the hands. So the doctor advised her that she needs to go back to a warmer climate.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So to cut a long story short, she wanted to go to a little island, Grenada. My dad was like, nope, I'm not going to any small island. We're going to Guyana.
Right.
And that's where the journey began. I remember landing in Guyana and it's boiling hot. I'm wearing my suit and it's like really hot. So basically I had to adapt to life in Guyana. I was I would say about 7 years. And seeing everything live chicken. I remember the first time I had to hold a chicken, it was like terrifying. Because all the meat there packed up and let you know about chickens, So basically going to school is where I had problems, right? Because I'm in a strange country, and basically I was picked on. Everyone called me the English boy, but I'm foreign, but so basically they're picking on me and stuff. So every day I was getting beaten up. I was bullied badly,
Wow.
And I would just cry because I didn't know how to deal with it. Mm-hmm. Until eventually it's like a rage just built up in me, and I'm like, no, I'm not having this anymore. So the next time the bully came at me, I was fighting back, arms and legs everywhere. Didn't know what I was doing, but I was just saying I had enough and I need to hit back because I've tried every trick in the book, not working, so I need to defend myself.
You just wanted it to stop, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so after that happened, then word got round. I beat the bullies and I became the fighter. I'm like, wow. It confused me because I thought these guys would be back at me, but I'm going back in the 70s, not like now where there's all this, I beat you, I'm coming back for you. So basically, I earned the respect. So once I realized that, I was like, wow, this is strange. And that's where I got intrigued about martial arts. I had no idea about fighting. I'm a peaceful chap, so I didn't know anything about these things. And one of my neighbor's son, he was heavily into Bruce Lee. He's a Bruce Lee fanatic, so he introduced me to Bruce Lee. We started watching the movies. He showed me techniques, and I was fascinated, so I just got deeper into that. And then I was into weight training. So from an early age, I started lifting weights and getting into martial arts and cultivating my mind. I was never bullied, never picked fights with anyone. If anything, I'm protecting the people who were bullied. So that was my journey. So as I got older, started helping my family and friends. They would come to me for advice about health, because I was known as a health freak. I'd read labels, and that's way before the internet and all that. I'd read books and learn about natural foods and so on. So I became fascinated with it. And from there, it just grew. I tried several jobs, did all kinds of jobs, never had that satisfaction. But as soon as I landed into fitness, that's when I found my passion, and just helping people transform their lives, what gave me pleasure.
Right.
So, in a nutshell, that's my...
Thanks for sharing that, Joe. So from an early age, you were the person people went to for information around health, and the whole Bruce Lee. You've actually answered a question that I was going to ask you, because, Joe, you mentioned in our check-in before the show that you also teach Tai Chi. So is that Tai Chi, is that similar to Kung Fu? And one of the questions was, do you know Bruce Lee? Obviously, do you like Bruce Lee? And you clearly do from early childhood. So can you explain to us, Joe, I'm going to digress a little bit because I had another question for you, but the Tai Chi, how does that differ? Is it all Kung Fu? How does it differ?
All right. So basically, you have different forms of martial arts, various forms of martial arts, but they could be placed into two categories. So you got the external, the hard martial arts like karate, kung fu. The external, so you have to have a lot of body strength and willpower and so on. And then you have the internal martial arts, which are softer. So things like Wing Chun, which was Bruce Lee style, which, by the way, was created by a woman, right? And you got Tai Chi, which again is an internal style, so it's soft. It looks like ballet, like you're moving in slow motion, but the movements are very, very simple, but very deadly. And it has power in it. So all styles really is in two categories, but within each style, you still have the hard and soft, but they might be predominantly one or the other. But Tai Chi is mainly on the softer side, but it still has that power within it.
Right, and all this, the whole Kung Fu, the Tai Chi, is this popular with black men? Just asking that question, because I hear a lot of them say that it's a lot about discipline. It appeals to men. Is that correct, or would you just say, in your experience, men and women gravitate to learning?
All right. So basically, I think as black men growing up, as I said, Bruce Lee was one of my heroes. So in the Caribbean, a lot of black men, all people were into Kung Fu and that type of thing, but I think black men in particular, even in America, because I travel around the world, and all the black men I spoke to, they were inspired by Bruce Lee, Muhammad Ali, any of these martial arts figures, right? So, and then when people like Jim Kelly came out, it sparked even more interest. So I would say, yes, Tai Chi is very popular. Well, in the last few years, it has gained some prominence, right? And the person that actually taught me Tai Chi, my guy called Sifu Mark Brown, and he's very good at Kung Fu and Tai Chi. So I'll give you another story. When I first saw Sifu Brown perform Kung Fu, he was doing the drunken style, similar to Jackie Chan in Drunken Master. And I was blown away with this guy, because he was wearing the brown Shaolin robe, and he looked dynamic. So I saw that performance, I think it was in Waterstone. I was like blown away. So after the performance, introduced myself, and I said, I definitely want to be a part of your class, So basically he said, yeah, gave me the details. I did my first class with him, and I was smashed. We did everything, push-up, squat. My body ached for about 2 weeks. I never went back. Never went back to that class. And by coincidence, I bumped into him in the street, and he said, what happened? I thought you loved martial arts. Well, why aren't you coming back? So I explained. I said, maybe I'm too old, man. Yeah, my body's just smashed up. But then he said to me, he said, okay, maybe Kung Fu is too hard for you. I will introduce you to Tai Chi. So that was my first taste of Tai Chi. So we used to go to the park, did some one-on-one with him, and the movements were soft and gentle and flowing. So then I said to him, the movements are good. I can understand how it can help you to relax and, develop your internal power. But I can't see how this beautiful art could be used for fighting. So then he was showing me the technique. I said, well, what if I did a punch? And he would just parry the punch. The next thing I was flying on the ground. And every move in the Tai Chi had a fighting application. And that's what made it so special to me. So I have to give thanks to Sifu Mark Brown for that, So that was my journey into Tai Chi. And I carried on with it because other martial arts, like MMA, it's more rugged. You can fight. You're a bad guy fighting, but at some point your body's going to be broken, right? Because it's all external. So Tai Chi is teaching you how to harness your chi, which is your vital life force. And that helps to replenish your kidneys, your liver, your spleen, all the organs that we don't really talk about. So it builds you up from the inside, and it's good for your joints. And as you age, you age better, right? So a lot of young people, they would say, oh, it's for old people. But I always say to the young, one day you're going to get old. 20, 40 years from now, you're going to get old. And what's good for the old people lasts a long time. So I'm prepared to get old, but I'm preparing myself. If I should live to 90, 100 years old, I should still be doing Tai Chi because I've seen people in their 90s and 100-year-olds doing Tai Chi.
Wow, so you hear that, guys?
So
just saying to our listeners, if you're tuning in now, UK Black Men Talk, and we're talking to Joe here, and Joe is really sharing a lot. He's a holistic health coach, personal trainer. You do mindfulness. Joe is really explaining about the whole Tai Chi. Yeah, men and women of all ages can benefit from doing Tai Chi.
Yes, they can, because you're never too old to start. But remember, it's designed for anyone. So anyone who's going through stress, hardship in life, whatever it is, because Tai Chi is giving you an awareness about yourself. So in order to move, right, they move very graceful and relaxed. But when you first start doing Tai Chi, you realize how tense you are. When I first started doing Tai Chi, I was moving like an elephant. I felt stiff and silly because my body was uncoordinated. It looks simple to the casual observer, But once you experience it, you realize, my goodness, it takes work, it takes dedication. It's just practice, it's repetition. So a lot of martial arts give you discipline, that you have to stick with something. When you first start, you're going to appear silly. It's like you're failing over and over again, and you have to be corrected because it's all about posture, breathing, your movement, being aware of how you are, what you're doing. So it's a form of, how can I put it? It's like meditation in motion. So while you're doing all the movements, you have to be aware of what you're doing, and it puts you in that meditative state, which is what helps you to release the tension and stress out of the body.
Being in the here and now, would you say?
Yeah.
Absolutely. If there's listeners who are elders, is that something where they could start, and do people have to go and have a check the doctors first? Just kind of wondering, what would that look like if people said, we want to start Tai Chi? Would they have to have a checkout from the doctors first?
Well, I would always advise a checkout. Tai Chi is very gentle, but in Tai Chi there's about 5 major schools in Tai Chi. So Yang is the most popular, so that's been modified from the original style. So the style I'm doing is the original style called Chen, C-H-E-N. And I had the pleasure of going to that village in China. That was in 2018. So I actually went to the birthplace of Tai Chi. So basically, coming back to your point, is any form of exercise, you should always have a basic checkup,
yes.
Because Tai Chi depends on the school you have. In Chen, it should be modified, right? Because there's a lot of stamping and other movements that's going on. But we can modify it. If you have a good teacher, like my teacher was, then we modify it. So you only do what you're capable of doing. So in Tai Chi, basically, there's a golden rule that you never get more than 70%. Right? So you're never going out for the burn. You start little and then you develop, because it's an art and you still learn. I'm still learning. It takes a lifetime or more to perfect Tai Chi. But the little you do is going to be long.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing that, Joan. in light of lots of things happening when people are seeking instructors and seeking people to carry out procedures, different areas. I want to know, is your profession, is it like certified? So would people be looking for someone who is certified in Tai Chi, just so that they know they're going to the right person?
Certification is very important. So I studied under my Stephen Mark Brown, and from that we developed into a group called Darlu, which is based in East London, and we work with a martial arts institution, right? Like the board of martial arts, so we get certified through them, and we're constantly learning. So we're constantly upgraded. We need to have insurance and everything else, and just keep up to date with our knowledge,